Today what I'm going to be cooking is a salmon dish, and it's going to be poached in the oven with a coconut cream sauce. So, ingredients, what I've got here is I've got 5 salmon steaks or fillets, and I have already off camera taken all the bones out, so I've deboned them. I've got 12 button mushrooms which I've chopped up, and I've also got 4 courgettes or zucchinis, and I've just sliced them. And what we're going to do is we're going to do the salmon in the oven, but we're also going to do a courgette and mushroom bit of a stir fry to go with it. I've got 2 lemons here, and I've got some coconut cream, and I've also got some coconut oil, which we're going to start with for doing the sauce. So I've got a saucepan here, and what I'm going to add into it is, just before we take it over to the element and turn it on, I've got some coconut oil. I'm going to add 3 tablespoons into that. 1, 2, good. Make sure that gets in there. Right, now I'm going to pop that on the element. And over we go. Right, I'm going to turn that on to a medium heat. And I'm just going to get out a wooden spoon, and we're going to just stir that around just so that melts down. Good, so you don't want it on too high a heat just while you're doing this. Perfect, so that's going nicely there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to cut, I'm just going to pop that over there. Right now I've got 2 lemons here, which the juice is what I'm going to squeeze into the saucepan. And then we're going to use some lemon zest, and we're also going to pop that into the sauce as well. And I'm just going to remove the sticker. Right, so cut both of them up. Right, now I'm going to take these over. I'm going to take the grater as well, and we're going to zest as well as pop these in here. So that's broken down. So, squeeze in your lemon juice. Now, what I am going to do though, just get this, just so we don't get any seeds into there. Good. Turn that right down. What we're going to add is our coconut cream. So I've put 1 cup of that in there. Give that a stir. Brilliant. Now add your other half a lemon into that. Just leave that in there. Good. So some more lemon. Perfect. And then also add the other one, just so we get quite a nice flavour in there. And what I'm going to do lastly is just grate some, give that a wee stir. Good, and I'll get rid of that. So I'm just going to grate in just a wee bit for some zest. Good. Alright, to give that a wee stir up like that, we're going to leave this on here for about 3 to 5 minutes. Alright, so leave that like it is now. So what we're going to do is preheat the oven. So, onto fan bake. And we're going to go for around 350 Fahrenheit or 175 Celsius. Depending on what you're working in, of course. Right, so I'm just going to pop the lid And that, we're going to turn it up a little bit, not a lot, so it's still on a low, quite low temperature, just up a little bit. All right. So while we're waiting for that to do its thing, what I've got here is an oven tray. And I'll move some of this out of the way. Right, so on the oven tray, what we're going to do is we're going to place out our salmon. So I've got 5 fillets, so I'm cooking for 5 people. So, good. Now remember, if you haven't actually ever deboned a fillet before, it's not too hard. I used some tweezers, and you just go along with the line in the fillet and you feel them with your hands and you pull them out. So that's all been done. So all we've got to do now is wait for our creamy sauce. So we'll see you back in about 3 minutes when we're going to pull that off and put this on, and it's all going to go in the oven. Okay, so with our sauce here, what I've done is I've actually added in another 1/2 cup of coconut cream, just so we've got a little bit more sauce to go around. What I am going to do now though is I've just chopped up 1 garlic clove, and I'm going to add in 1/2 of that into this sauce, just to give it a bit more of a flavour as well. So add that in there, pop the lid on, and that honestly does not have that much longer, about a minute. Then we're going to drizzle it over our salmon, and we're also going to put some basil, dried basil leaves on top of that as well. Alright, so what I'm going to do now is we're going to take the sauce off the heat. Alright, so pour that over top of the salmon. Good. I'm just going to add a few basil leaves. Just to give it some flavour, and we're going to pop this in the oven for about 15 minutes. Alright, so I'll see you back here in about 7 or 8 minutes time when we're going to start on our stir fry and get our salmon out of the oven and serve. Alright, welcome back. So what I've done is I've just turned our pan on to heat up, and I'm just going to drizzle in a little bit of olive oil. Just like that. Give that a wee toss around in the pan. I'm going to pop our courgettes in first. So take this over here. I'm just going to pop them in the pan. Do be careful that that oil doesn't get you if it starts spitting. So remembering this is 4 courgettes that I've just sliced. So pop them in there like that. And then I sprinkle a little bit of that leftover garlic over them. Perfect. Give them a wee toss around. Good, so let them cook away in there for a few minutes. Courgette and the mushroom mix don't take long at all, so the last 5 minutes of your salmon cooking you can always just whip them in the pan. They're starting to brown up. I'm going to add in the mushrooms to the mix. So I'm going to add the mushrooms down one end of the pan before I add them together, just so the mushrooms cook and brown up a little bit. what I might actually do before I add them in, just a little bit more oil in the pan. And in these go. So all I'm doing with these mushrooms is basically heating them through, and they're just going to change colour. Now while they're doing that, I'm just going to sprinkle over some oregano over the courgettes. And then once the mushrooms are cooked and a bit brown, I'm going to do the same thing with them. So just a sprinkle over. Good. The mushrooms we move about. Good. The mushrooms won't take long. So I'll see you back in about 2 minutes, and we're going to mix them together. Then we're going to pull out our salmon. Alright, so now that they've been on there, what we're going to do is we're going to mix the mushrooms and the courgettes together. What we're going to do now is we're going to actually get our salmon out of the oven. Alright. Okay, so that's what our salmon looks like once it comes out of the oven, and it smells wonderful. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to plate up one, and you can see it. Do be careful when you take it out that you don't break the fillet. Perfect. Perfect. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get some of that sauce, drizzle that. Just slightly. Right, so there you have it, poached salmon and courgettes and mushroom on the side. Hope you enjoy that, and I'll see you again soon for another recipe.